Hey, what's up guys, I'm your host Neer and we are officially a week away from WWDC19. The Worldwide Developer Conference is where Apple shows off their latest and greatest software technology. They'll be updating their tvOS, macOS, watchOS, and iOS. So now in this video I'm going to be rounding up all the leaks and rumors surrounding iOS 13 and I'm going to equip you with everything that you need to know before WWDC19. But before that, roll the intro. So now iOS 13 is a well-needed upgrade since iOS 12 was pretty much just some under-the-hood bug fixes as well as speed improvements for all the devices to make them faster and more usable. So now some of the features I'm going to mention in this video are pretty much confirmed at this point with multiple sources agreeing on the same thing. And some of the features are still speculation with some contradicting or often changing information. So now let's kick things off with the biggest and probably even the best feature, the system-wide dark theme. We've been asking for a system-wide dark theme for a long time now. The smart invert feature that was introduced in iOS 12 only managed to get the hype even higher. Now the dark theme for the iPhones won't be perfectly black like it is on Facebook Messenger or currently with the smart invert. Instead it's more likely to be a dark shade of grey like it is on the Macs and their dark mode. Now although not really a feature, iOS 13 is rumored to be completely jailbreak free. So now for better or for worse, Apple claims that iOS 13 will be jailbreak proof. Actually wait, no, Apple will claim that iOS 13 is going to be jailbreak free. So now iOS is also planned to get up to 40% faster on some devices, and it's going to be done with the aid of some quicker, snappier animations compared to just the really slow and long animations that we have right now. So now there's also talk about some Swift key-like feature, so you'll have access to that without the need of some third-party application like Gboard. And now I can already hear the hate train about Apple copying Samsung coming up soon, but personally it's not really a feature that I see myself using, because even when I used an Android phone, I never really used the swipe feature, I just typed it out normally. And even on the iPhone, I could have used Gboard to have that feature, but I was never really into it that much. I just prefer typing out my texts normally. Now there's also going to be changes to the Reminders app, which hasn't been touched since like the Stone Age. Well, the updates are just meant to help you manage your reminders a lot easier and a lot quicker than they are currently. Now iPad Pros will be getting a feature that allows them to be used as an external monitor, probably alongside the new rumored 6K display that Apple's working on. And on the same note, there's also going to be mouse support for the iPad, as well as new gestures that's going to make the iPad experience more fluid and more intuitive. Now there's also going to be a redesigned Files app, because the current one is not ideal, to put it in a nice way. There's also going to be changes to the Safari downloads across the iPad and iPhones. Instead of giving you this little page that comes up that's pretty much useless, there's going to be a separate downloads tab just like it is on the Mac and across other devices. Screen time parental restrictions are also going to be getting an improvement in that they can restrict their child contacting a certain number within certain hours a day. So if you want your child not to contact a certain friend within certain hours, you can do that with the iOS 13. The Books application is also getting a few upgrades with the introduction of a new reading goals as well as reward mechanism, kind of like the fitness app on the Apple Watch where it has activity goals and medals that you can achieve for working out every day. So similar to that, you might get an award for reading a book every day or finishing a book quicker than you normally do. Now Apple's going to be taking inspiration directly from WhatsApp and is going to let you create a profile with a profile picture and contact information, and you're going to be able to adjust who gets to see this and who can't. Now Maps is also getting a much needed revamp where they're taking inspiration from Google Maps and Waze, which are pretty good places to get inspiration from. Apple is also combining the Find My iPhone app with the Find My Friends app. Now this change could be because Apple plans on releasing a new smart tag in order to directly compete with Tile. In addition to the current Do Not Disturb mode, Apple will be introducing a sleep mode, which is meant to tie in directly with the bedtime tracker feature that was introduced in iOS 12. Now the introduction of this sleep mode is likely to be a subtle wink and a nod in the direction of sleep tracking that is rumored to be happening on the Series 5 Apple Watch. There's also rumored to be cross-platform apps, so what this means is that there's going to be direct continuity between apps on your iPhone to your iPad and Mac. So now examples of this already exist in apps like TickTick, where you can open it up on your iPhone, create an event, and then open it up on your Mac and it's already there. There's also going to be smaller changes, like changes to the volume HUD. So instead of coming up in the center of your phone and obstructing everything you're trying to see, it's going to happen somewhere on the sides. It's going to be simpler, cleaner, and it's not going to obstruct everything that you're trying to see when you're using your phone. Anyway, live photos is going to be double in length, going from 3 seconds now to 6 seconds. Now I'm all for that. Live photos is one of my favorite features on the iPhone, and if it's getting longer, I don't really mind. In fact, I encourage that, just as long as it doesn't kill the storage on the iPhone, because every photo that I take is pretty much a live photo. And of course, with every iOS update, there has to be new emojis. Who doesn't love new emojis? Emojis are pretty much my favorite way to text. Half of my message is just emojis coming at you. So I'm all for new emojis. So now there's going to be a new yawn emoji, which I don't understand why it doesn't already exist. There's a new skunk and chimpanzee emojis. There's also going to be an axe, and Saturn is also joining the club, because why not? So now, which iPhones will be getting iOS 13? Or actually, I should say, which iPhones won't get iOS 13? So now, with the iOS 13 coming out, all the devices have to get cut out. It happens every year. So now this year, it's rumored that the iPhone 5S, the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, and the iPhone SE will no longer get updates. So now the 5S, 6 and 6 Plus getting cut completely makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is why the iPhone SE has to get cut. The iPhone 5S was released in 2013, receiving 5 years of software updates up until 2018, where iOS 12 was announced. So it only makes sense that the 5S should retire. So now the iPhone SE was only released in 2016, this year making it 3 years. So if it doesn't get iOS 13, it only gets 2 years of software updates, which is pretty low in terms of product support from Apple. Now the iPhone SE getting cut without the iPhone 6S and the 6S Plus getting cut makes even less sense, because they have the same internals and the iPhone SE performs better than the 6S and 6S Plus because it's pushing fewer pixels. So from a performance standpoint, it makes no sense to remove the iPhone SE. But this is one of those areas where there's contradicting or often changing information, so we'll just have to wait until WWDC to find out what exactly happens with product support. But for now, 5S and 6 and 6 Plus are pretty much guaranteed to get cut. But anyway, that rounds up the full rumors and leaks for everything that you need to know about iOS 13 before WWDC19. Actually, I probably should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning of this video for WWDC, but it's a bit late now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and you have any thoughts or questions, please share them down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like and also subscribe to the channel for future content. And as always, have a great, great life.